Welcome to the Think and Grow Well Show. If you allow your doctor, your insurance, or your Uncle Sam to define healthy, or you blame someone else for the way you feel, or you seek the fountain of youth in a prescription bottle, at a needle tip, or along the scalpel's edge, then be advised. You are about to be offended. You should probably leave now.
Anybody can just think and feel better? That's scary. I mean, thoughts aren't regulated by the feds, and no drug company has a patent on them. So thinking thoughts must not be very safe or effective.
If you love feeling frisky and having fun, take responsibility for your own vitality, and want freedom to enjoy epic experiences with folks you love, welcome aboard and prepare to be blown away. The Think and Grow Well Show starts now. Here's your host, Dr. Lori Barr.
Hi, it's Dr. Lori Barr. Think and Grow Well is the show. And today we're talking a little bit more about the illnesses that can result from losing sight of your life's purpose and living without purpose or living to carry out someone else's purpose. In a prior episode, we talked about how one man found himself a whole slew of diseases, became a hypochondriac after he retired because he gave up the thing he really was passionate about in his life. And today, let's talk a little bit about the secret to uncovering your life's purpose. Now, life's purpose is often tied into your paradigm, which is the way you see the world. So, one secret when you're trying to uncover your life's purpose is first to determine what major paradigm forms your worldview. Ask yourself, what underpins your philosophy of life, your outlook on how the world works? It may be a paradigm of science, it may be God, it may be humanism, or it could be something else entirely. You know, you as an acorn can't fall too far from the tree trunk of your own oak. So it's really important to figure out what your worldview is, because your life's purpose will be aligned with that worldview more often than not. You perceive everything in life through the lens of your worldview. If you can't see your purpose yet, then you may need to clean your lens and sharpen your focus, or perhaps have a lens transplant. You know, sometimes a worldview that we've held for a long time, we may hold simply out of habit. It may be something we adapted as a child without much forethought, or something that we had adopted when we fell in love with somebody. Yet, it may not be serving us anymore. So it may be time to reevaluate how you see the world and how you choose to see the world in the future if you still are having trouble seeing your life's purpose or figuring out your worldview. Once you are pretty sure that the worldview you're holding is the one you want to continue holding, the next thing that really is helpful in figuring out your life's purpose is being utterly convinced that your worldview is right for you. If you hold any doubts, it's important to go ahead and clear up those doubts now with actions and activities that provide you clarity about that worldview. I'm not saying to adopt a worldview blindly. I'm saying prove it to yourself. Prove that it's worth exchanging your life for. That is what humans do. They exchange the time of their lives fulfilling their life's purpose, which is usually related to their worldview. So make sure it's worth your investment. Some activities that can increase the clarity in this regard would include daily study of materials that help you find the truth about this paradigm. For example, Bible study. Introspection to see if intuitively you have doubts about aspects of this topic. Discussions with others who are already very clear in this regard. And then, of course, if doubts remain, after at least a year of dedicated study, if you've done your diligence with one perspective for a year or more, and you still aren't sure about it, consider trying another, exploring another at least. So let's assume that you've done the work and you're clear about your worldview paradigm. It really doesn't take long after that before you recognize how you can serve that cause effectively. Look for activities that give you joy. Joy is a high-frequency emotion, and when we resonate in that joy with others who are successfully carrying out their life's purpose, it just grows. Instances of joy help to sustain our passion and build faith in our own abilities. That honoring of self when you keep your commitment to yourself really brings an inner joy that spreads. Happiness and joy are totally different animals. Happiness is a fleeting emotion that's spontaneous. Joy, it can be spontaneous too, and it can be found consistently when you're performing tasks that you consider are moving you toward a worthy, desired outcome. If you lack joy or lay aside joy to tirelessly serve as a caregiver to another, you may kill yourself if you're not careful. This happened to one of my relatives. He painted himself into a deadly corner. He loved his wife so much that he just absolutely, when she became bedridden, wanted to serve her in their home until he couldn't anymore. And so that's what he did. And one day he was tired and he went out and he sat down in his truck and he fell asleep and it got cold. And he was so tired he just stayed asleep in the truck even though it was very cold outside. And the next thing you knew, he had pneumonia. He had run himself down. He basically was exhausted and fell asleep under environmental conditions that were ripe for his lungs to not move enough and to get infected. And so he actually died of pneumonia shortly after that. He didn't notice that he was stressed from caregiving. He didn't even have a clue that he was under stress, bodily stress, physically worn down from caring for his wife. It is really easy when you're in constant service, physical service to someone who has a worse physical condition than you do, who you love dearly. You absolutely can ignore a lot about yourself in order to serve that other person. So the bottom line about the life's purpose, just realize that anything that distracts you from your life's purpose can actually whittle away your immunity and your endurance and put you so that you're more at risk for getting an illness that could actually debilitate you. It's kind of your body's warning sign to tell you that you're wasting your life, even if it seems like it's for a good cause, taking care of someone else. So when you get those warning signs, be thankful for the people who raise their hand and have the courage to talk to you and say, hey, you know what? I see a change. I see a change in the way you're performing. I see a change in the way you're speaking. I see a change on your face. I see that you look tired all the time. I see that you act like you don't have much energy anymore. I see that you're not keeping your commitments. Something's changed. This is not characteristic of you. Is there a way I can help? Are you burning yourself out? Are you stressed? Is it something that can be controlled? How can I assist? That's a friend, someone who points those things out to you, and be honest and open and receiving of their feedback, even if it hurts a little bit to hear. It's for your own good. They want you to be productive. They want you to contribute. They want you to be living at your best. They love you too, or they wouldn't be talking to you, because it hurts for them to tell you things like this. Take it with grace. Say thank you. Say please forgive me. Say I'm sorry. Say I love you. And move on. And regain that energy, regain that strength, regain that momentum that you may temporarily have put aside for something. If you've done it once, you can do it again.
Your next steps.
Your next step is to really sit down and take a minute to consider your worldview. Let's start at the beginning. Let's start with that paradigm. Like I said earlier, if it's unclear to you, make the commitment. We're about to start a new year. We start a new month every 30 days, right? So it's always a new year in transition. And as you start this next period of time coming up, make the commitment to really focus on your worldview and either get clear on it or give another one a try if that one's not working for you. And definitely surround yourself by people who are clear about their worldview, whether it's the same worldview you have or people with different worldview. People who have clarity about why they exist and what their purpose is in life can help you find clarity too. So get yourself involved in a mastermind that supports that kind of thinking, that kind of clarity, that kind of environment where you can hold the space for others and they can hold the space for you and you can take responsibility for what you're here for. I'm Dr. Lori Barr. One idea is all it takes to change your world. Let's think and grow well.
Psst, be aware. Vitality is an inside job. Trust your spirit, make up your mind, and get your body in gear. There are no second chances.